And good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Savannah Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. I'm the coach, Carl Damasi, and I did it already. It's a new name, okay? It's the Savannah Sports Report, hosted by the coach, Carl Damasi. I just want to make sure I got that straight, and got a little internet issues here. I'm trying to figure out what's going on, so hold on, and we'll start from the top. Okay. All right, everything's twirling. Hang in there, people. I'm trying to get this going. And good evening, sports fans, and welcome to the Savannah Sports Report, hosted by the coach, Carl Damasi. I'm glad you could join me. A couple of glitches here. You know, everything's based on the internet, so I switched over to my hotspot on my phone, so hopefully it works. But it's Wednesday night, June 4th. We're right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. I hope you can hear me. I'm just checking it now. It's working on that page. It's still scrolling on that page. It's still scrolling on that page. But yep, it's working on that page. So once again, I'm glad you could join me, and hopefully we can get this show through. Because you never know with the internets. You're basing it on the cloud lords above. So once again, glad you could join me. And like I say every week, I got a great show lined up for you. First part, I'll talk about local sports, what's going on here in the local area. Then, of course, we'll get into my first guest. Usually I bring on someone from the sports arena or a coach. This guy isn't a new guy, but he is the new head coach over at Calvary Day School, and that's, of course, Jason Cameron. You know anything about Jason Cameron? Went over at Jenkins, did a great job, kept the program going strong. Then he went down to Vidalia. Didn't have a lot to work with, but for some reason, that's how it goes with coaching. But he wound up last year as the offense coordinator on Mark Stroud's football staff over at Calvary Day School. Mark Stroud announced he was retiring, and hired the young man, Jason Cameron. So I can't wait to talk about what he's going to do with that program, what philosophies he's going to take with that program, talk about the kids in the program, and, of course, looking forward to what he's got to say about that. And at 7:30, we'll have our Athlete of the Week, Weatherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. Got to say, I apologize to Dr. Bart Weatherington, who's been sponsoring this since 2010, since I started on the radio and kept it on the internet. And we're going to talk to the quarterback over at Benedictine Military School. I mean, the lineage of quarterbacks at Benedictine is unbelievable. And that's, of course, senior Stephen Cannon, who committed to, back in, if I'm not mistaken, back in November, he committed to Texas Tech Raiders, Red Raiders. So we'll talk about, he's also part of that 100, 200-meter state champion track team. Galen Houston has that track program going. So I'm excited about it. All right, so let's get in the door here because I got to get out of here by 7:12 so I can keep my promise to my first guest. 7:15 I'll be coming on. So 3 steps in the door. Step 1, okay? I've been trying to do this, and, of course, when the internet knocked me out, it knocked my presentation out. So, there it is. It came back. So let me put myself in the right spot here. Here we go. Step 1, youth and high school sports in the door. So, it's time to shine. And if you go to the prepsportsreport.com, we have new stories every day. Golf is really taking precedent. A lot of young golfers in this area are really good. So, it's time to shine the spotlight on youth sports. And during the summer, it's golf and it's sailing. It's summer basketball leagues, 7-on-7 leagues if there's something special going on. But River Hood tied for 5th in the U.S. Kids Golf European Championship last week over there in Scotland. He's in a 10-year-old group. Last year, in a 9-year-old group, he finished 4th. Pretty impressive. Mary Miller, the golf phenom over at Savannah Christian, went and played at Georgia Southern this year. Well, you know what? She's not Georgia Southern anymore. She transferred to Ole Miss. Okay, so pretty big move there for a girl that wanted to stay local, but give her a lot of credit for doing that and wish her the best luck. And just today or yesterday, Chad Caldwell, that Benedictine golf program. I mean, you got, Bear Dolander, you got Jack Weeks, you got so many guys over there that have played. Well, Chad Caldwell had a little injury back in his sophomore year. He's a rising senior. He won the Southeastern Junior Golf Tournament playoff at Sea Pines after returning from that injury. Pretty special. Football, there's points of emphasis, okay? Okay, it's going to be safety, player safety, sportsmanship, and fair play. Player safety. They're going to have to wear their mouth guards. They're going to have to wear their pants over the knees. We'll see if their officials enforce that, but the National Federation High School came out May 25th and reiterated what they posted back in January. And you know what? It happens to fall on the coach. We'll talk to Coach Cameron about that. But they haven't been enforcing it, and you see all these college players and these pro players with their pants up to their thighs. Shouldn't happen in high school, okay? We're there for player safety, okay? Also, player safety tackling, okay? They're going to points of emphasis is tackling the right way. Of course, we know targeting, leading with your head, hitting somebody that's down on the ground, hitting that defensive player that's not looking and you take a cheap shot. That's supposed to be enforced in sportsmanship, fair play. You know what? That's what it's all about, and that's what we should be teaching. Help the guy up. And I know a lot of teams won't do that, or no taunting anymore. You can't spike the ball or do flips like they're doing in college and NFL now. So check it out. Stories on the Prep Sports Report. What the rule changes are as far as football goes this year for high school football. All right. Step 2, college. We got to get into the college, and I bragged about Richmond Hill's Leighton Finley. While he pitched the first game up there in the Athens Regional, 6 2/3 innings, 7 strikeouts. They beat Binghamton, upstate New York, Binghamton, the Bobcats. A little relation here. My brother graduated from there. My niece just graduated from there. Well, they beat him 20-4. He finished the season 3-2 with a 4.85 ERA. It was over 5 when he started the game. 83 strikeouts in 68.2 innings, 68 2/3. He'll be back next year. He's a junior. We'll see. Because when you reach that junior phase, you can get drafted in Major League Baseball. Georgia Tech, once again, heartbreaker. Danny Hall, one of the best baseball coaches here in the United States, retires after 32 seasons. So pretty big milestone there. But Georgia Tech didn't win out either. They beat Western Kentucky, but they lost to Murray State 11-9, and they lost to Ole Miss like 13-12. So they won't play. But I got to give a shout out to Arkansas, the Razorbacks, because they got BC. Former BC standout baseball player Justin Thomas started at Georgia, then went down to Florida junior college. While he went 2 for 4 with 3 RBIs in that last game, a 3-run homer in the regional final against Creighton. All right, they advanced. They'll play the Super Regional. Who they taking on? Tennessee, the Volunteers. All right, go to the next one. Where's slide? Okay. Should be going to slide 3, but I don't know why. All right, hold on, people. Let me, you got to love this, Coach Cameron. You got to go with the flow. You got to ad-lib here. Let's try and put the right, I did have it loaded up until the internet cut out my computer. So let's see if I can get the good one back up here. The one that's got all my news and notes. I mean, I can read them from my paper if you want. So here it's uploading it. I got 2 minutes to go, so I got to really push through this really hard. It's processing, but like I said, that's college sports. Savannah State women's basketball program has a camp going on. Check it out. Go to Savannah State. Check out the women's basketball program. They're going to have a camp in 2 weeks. Football's got some camp days, get seen camp days. Check it out. So that's what's going on in college sports. Now we'll go to the pro sports, of course. The Atlanta Braves. Step 3, pro sports that relate to Savannah, Georgia. The Atlanta Braves. Everybody's crying. Everybody's complaining. It's baseball. 162 games. They're five games under 500. Something will happen. Okay, let me see if the whole PowerPoint came up. So there was 1. There's 2. Nope, only 2 showed up. Okay, so I'll keep that right now, so you don't have to look at my face while I'm reading my notes. But I mean, so Braves, they'll bounce back. I know Spencer Strider had another rough night last night. They got the Diamondbacks tonight. Then they will go on the West Coast trip. They'll play against the Giants in San Francisco, and then they'll come back and play the Brewers June 9th. Okay, California is June 6th to June 8th, and then June 9th we're in Milwaukee. PGA Tour quickly. Brian Harmon missed the cut on Jack Nicklaus's Memorial Tour. He'll be back because the U.S. Open will be in a couple of weeks. He'll be back playing at the U.S. Open at Oakmont on June 12th. Champions Tour, Tim O'Neill tied for 38 at the Principal Charity Classic last week. Gene Sowers missed the cut in the PGA Senior Tour, but they'll both be playing at the American Family Insurance on Championship on June 6th to the 8th. Bananas went to the West Coast. They played in Reno. The Party Animals swept the Texas Tailgaters. Then the Bananas came played in the Anaheim Angel Stadium. They topped the Firefighters. So this week they'll be in Charlotte, North Carolina at Bank of America Stadium, home of the Carolina Panthers, packed, sold out. Coach's Corner, this weekend we got Charlie Fogg and Turtle Folk. Charlie Fogg, Grateful Dead. Turtle Folk's got his own music. Then June 14th, they'll come on, and you want to hear a little Led Zeppelin tribute? We got Rambling On. Don't forget, right across the street, we got the Thunderbolt Indoor Golf and Games. 2 golf simulators. Play any golf course you want in the world. When it's raining out, you want to go play some golf, you can go check it out. Just come into the Coach's Corner. They'll help you out. All right? Other than that, this weekend at How to Run Specialty Shops. Let me see if I can get this to come up. There we go. We got my race, okay? I've been doing this for 9 years. It's the 9th annual Coaches for Curing Cancer 5K, 10K walk run. All proceeds, after everything is paid off, goes to the Cure Childhood Cancer Foundation. 9 years. Come help us out. My goal every year is to get 150 people. We're at 102 right now. You still got till Saturday morning. Come register. Get there at 7 o'clock. Race kicks off at 7:30. All right. 7:13. I'm a little over time here, but coming up next, we're going to talk a little Cavalier football, the Calvary Day School football with a new head coach. He's not a new head coach, people. He's a new head coach at Calvary. That's, of course, a good friend of mine, Jason Cameron. I'll give away my age here. I coached his wife in high school at Jenkins way back when. Sorry, Brooke. I'll be back in 3 minutes. You're watching the Call of Damasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. First, let me take this away. Take this away. Okay. I'm ready to go. I'll be back. You got to love it. Live internet's live radio. Promise you 3 minutes, Coach. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day.
Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day School, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ at Calvary Day School. We would consider it a privilege to meet with you and your family personally. Call Alicia Bain, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299. Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room, if you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Savannah Sports Report, hosted by the coach, Carl Damasi, right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network on the Soundgarden stage. I promise you I'm not going to sing, but it's always great to be here. I mean, just being out here, being in the Soundgarden, a gazillion TVs here, it just adds the ambiance of being in a sports bar, sports restaurant with a sports show. So anyway, my first guest, I'm 2 minutes over the limit. My script is not running right because the internet's tackled me, okay? So he's joining us tonight. He's the newly named, he was named way back in November, the new head coach at Calvary Day School football, after serving as the Cavaliers offensive coordinator and working closely under the legendary, he is legendary, he's an OG like me, but he's legendary and he's in better shape than I am, Mark Stroud, 33 years coaching high school football. He's set to take over the program. Well, he's already started, June. We're in summer workouts, okay? He's had success at Jenkins High School. He's had success at Vidalia. And, he has a strong vision for what a football program should be. He's ready to lead. He's joining me on the coach's hot seat. Guy's from Jersey, but I still love him like a brother. Maroon, you know what I mean? And that's, of course, joining me on the coach's hot seat, the new head coach at Calvary Day School, Jason Cameron. What's up, Coach? How's it going?
Coach, how's it going? Thank you for having me.
Hey, I fumbled the ball. Well, I didn't fumble. The internet fumbled the ball, and, you just got to go with it. You know what I mean, right?
Absolutely.
So, question. So, I talked about Vidalia and, of course, let go and everything else. Did you ever think that coming over to Calvary that you would be the head coach of that program?
It's funny, being at Jenkins, I always kind of, envied Calvary so much, from, the game day atmosphere to, having, pre-K all the way through 12 on one campus, and just how, family of an atmosphere it felt when I used to go there and scout games. So it's funny how I always wanted the job from a distance, and now I'm able to have it and to be able to take over for somebody like Coach Stroud, who's a legend in our game. It's just been a great transition for me. Nice. Hey, you get a little gray wings there, buddy. I'm telling you, you coach Brooks, so you know how it is.
No, I don't think Brooks give you those silver streaks. So, but anyway, but once again, congratulations, being named the head coach at Calvary back in November. Now time is here. Okay, new season under your control, which you probably started with workouts in January. what does it mean to you personally to step into the role after a coaching legend and a great man and a really, I would say, religious man like Mark Stroud?
Yeah, it's just a man. When you talk about Coach Stroud, the first word you think about is integrity. I've never met a man with such high integrity in my life, and I always envied his program and wanted to model my programs from a distance, on his. I thought he ran a phenomenal football program from top to bottom, and then these last 2 years being able to work with him and being knee deep in it with him, it's just been a great learning experience for me. I think in our profession we're constantly learning and constantly evolving. So I've become a better football coach these 2 years under Coach Stroud, and I'm more prepared to be the head football coach at Calvary because of that experience. Question number 2, I sent you the questions I'm going to ask you, but you succeeded Tim Adams at Jenkins. You came in by Daly. You didn't work under the guy like you did Tim and Mark, but what have you learned here at Calvary, especially working under Stroud, that you plan to carry with you as you lead this new program in your coaching career? First and foremost, it's just such a tight-knit community. We have such a strong alumni base, such a strong administration, and just leaning on them as much as possible, and they're just so involved. And you never really get told no at Calvary, which is great because everybody just wants to give us, put us in the best position to be successful. But when early on in my career, I focused so much on wins and losses. It was just what I felt like defined me, and Coach Stroud has completely changed my opinion on that. We're going to win at Calvary, and that's the expectation. But we're not going to define our successes by wins and losses. We're going to impact kids, get them closer to the cross, and we'll measure our wins by the way that we impact young people.
Well, I'm excited to see it, and every coach has his own unique philosophy. I know I've been asking about following Coach Mark Stroud's footstep, but every coach has their own philosophy. And how would you describe? Now, you don't have to put this on a bulletin board, okay? But how do you describe your offensive and defensive approach to the game, and how will you lead this team overall as Jason Cameron, head coach, not as Mark Stroud or anybody else you're following?
Offensive and defensively, the best part about coaching high school sports is that you got to kind of evolve with what you have. So it's hard to be just have one philosophy. Of course, I want to be an up-tempo offense that scores a bunch of points. That's what we've done the last 2 years. And I plan on doing the same this year. But, defensively, we just have the mindset of line up correctly, tackle well, and play with relentless effort. Schematically, we got phenomenal football coaches. They'll take care of that. If the kids handle those 3 things, I think we'll be completely fine. And as the program as a whole, we are relationship driven. That's been our mantra since I've taken over is, building strong, meaningful relationships with people, servantly lead. And we talk about loving one another. And when you love one another, you're not going to let the person next to you down. Not in the sense of scoring touchdowns or throwing interceptions. You're going to give everything you have on every single play because you're not going to let the person next to you down.
Nice. And, I'd be remiss if I left this out because I preach this my whole coaching career. There's 3 parts to a football team: offense, defense, special teams. And special teams coach is going to win you games, lose you games, win you championships. So what about your special team philosophy?
We put just as much effort into special teams as we do offense and defense. Coach Alex Montague is our special teams coordinator, and we scheme for it weekly. It's never the same thing, and we put a lot of emphasis on there. It's also a great opportunity for our young kids to get on the field, and if you attack special teams just like you attacked offense and defense, it's a great way to go on the field. Yeah,
a lot of kids don't know that. If they're not starting offense and defense, and they don't want to know nothing about special teams, but special teams can lead to something special. What was the other thing I was going to? Okay, so I didn't put this on the sheet I sent you, but you've been an offense coordinator your whole life. Mm-hmm. So now that you're the head coach, the CEO, you still going to run the offense, or you going to let someone else run it?
I am. I'm still going to run the offense. The last time I gave up calling plays was my last year at Jenkins. Coach Jeb Stewart did it for me there. He's actually on our staff now at Calvary, coaching our tight end. So I'm not ready to give it up yet. I'm not saying that I'll never give it up, but just not yet. Any other coaches you want to mention? Yeah, we've got a great staff. Donald Chumley speaks for itself. If you're in the stands, you could definitely hear him throughout the game. But Coach Maros is going to be our defensive coordinator this year. He does a great job. He coached under Coach Chumley at Savannah Christian, and brought a bunch of good community coaches involved with Jamario Blige, who played at Windsor Forest, Javaris Taylor, that was the head coach at Memorial, coached at Johnson High School. So Reggie Green, who's a lifer in Savannah and just a great, member of our staff and great in the community. So our staff is strong and we're super excited about it.
Nice. All right, last question. So this is what everybody's wanting to know. You're looking ahead to 2025. You lost a lot of good players, okay, which is like that every year for every team. But what excites you the most about the group of returning players? Talk them up, give them some love, and and is the foundation already in place at Calvary with these guys?
Oh, absolutely. The foundation is strong. I really believe that, teams are always going to be as successful as their seniors. And we have a small senior class, only about 9, and we lost one to a knee injury in spring practice. But we got 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that are really going to be impactful for us as seniors, really have taken over the leadership role. Jay Varner, offensive lineman, college coaches offer him. He's a football player. Scotty Walker playing DB, got an App State offer just from relentless effort and progression. And John Swindell is going to be on our offensive line too. So those 3 guys that are seniors that stick out to me, that'll be the anchors of our team.
All right, I got to ask you this, and I know you didn't mention him, but Mr. Smiley, the kid is always smiling no matter what the situation is, no matter when he sees you, but he's probably one of the best quarterbacks in the area. Talk about my man, James Mobley.
He's got the best demeanor that I've ever coached in a young man. He stepped in for Jake Merklinger, which is huge, shoes to fill. And as offense coordinator, I don't know where we were going to be. Did we have to scale back? Did we have to change? We didn't change a thing, to be totally honest with you. And he just embraced it. And his leadership, his quiet way of leading is contagious. He just has a calming factor of him. His players, even if he doesn't know it, they're going to follow James Mobley wherever he goes.
And talk about James Mobley, his dad stepping in, leader of young man, right there, Coach.
And listen, he doesn't give himself enough credit. We need as many parents like him as possible. He's a top-notch guy.
I agree with you. Behind every great kid, great student, great athlete, he has great parents. All right, and then, of course, my good buddy, the OG of Rubbin' and Grubbin', the other show on the Coach's Corner Sports Network, Lawrence Bennett. Congratulations, Coach Cameron. What's your favorite moment as a coach and as a player? Wow.
Oh, coach is tough. Beating Toombs County in triple overtime at Vidalia was a special moment. If you never experienced that game, Coach Stroud knows that game real well. That was definitely a special moment. And I think just kind of what we accomplished at Jenkins throughout that time, getting them to the semifinals with a great group of kids and a great staff was definitely stuck out to me. And listen, I was a basketball player in high school, mostly played football, played baseball. I tell everybody I'd give anything to go back to any sort of Saturday up north high school football game.
Yeah, it's definitely different than down here. But I'm telling you, when I came my first year and I was at Jenkins and we went down to Cairo, you can't say Cairo, you got to say Cairo, and we pull into the town and there's not anybody on the streets. I said, "What's going on?" And then you pull into the parking lot of the high school. Oh man, it's just crazy. The Southern football atmosphere is just crazy, and
it's amazing.
So, but quickly looking at your region, you're coming into a region that last year Calvary took care of. How do you see the region this year?
Oh, strong. I think it's a super strong region. Southeast Bullock returns 90% of their team. Jenkins is always strong. Coach Welsh has have that thing rolling with, Coach Benton and the guys that are the core staff there really do a great job at Jenkins. And Long County is always a team that you got to, show up and play for with their style of football. So it's a super strong region. It's a region that if you don't show up on a Friday night, you could definitely get beat.
Yeah, you don't know what Liberty's going to come up with from year to either.
Absolutely. They're as athletic as they come.
Well, Jason, I'm glad you got that job. I know coming over from Vidalia, you weren't sure what was going on, but you hung in there, you hung tight, and God has plans for all of us, and keep it going. And Stroud didn't leave; he's going to be the athletic director. He'll be watching closely.
Oh yeah, he mows his way out on the field sometimes. I told him he wants to jump in and coach some offensive line. Feel free.
Yeah, it's great. Congratulations. Tell Brooke and tell Jax I said hello, and I'll be watching you. And as I said when I had a son there, go Cavs.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Jason, good luck.
Thank you.
I mean, if my son was still in high school, he'd be at Calvary Day School because he's got a young, energetic coach, and he does care about his players. And you could tell when he coached at Jenkins, it was just a great atmosphere over there. He just carried the ball and took over, and then he went out to Vidalia. Rough time in Vidalia with the people running in charge, but, I mean, they let go of a good guy, and Calvary can't be Calvary's got a good guy. That's all I got to say. They got a good coach, good young coach. He cares about the kids. And, he's a servant leader. And, he's going to lead there. And plus, he's from Jersey, so I'll say he's okay. But anyway. All right. Next up, Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. If you've been following the papers, you've been following the noise, this young man signed or committed. He can't sign. Committed to play football at Texas Tech out there in Texas. I don't know what mom and grandma and dad are going to do, but he's taking his game after one more year being the head man, being the quarterback at Benedictine, which Benedictine has a great lineages. Okay, has a great sequence of quarterbacks out there. Okay, so I'll get it straight, but we'll be back in 3 minutes with this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, Stephen Cannon. You're watching the Call Damasi Sports Report. I did it again, Lawrence. You're watching the Savannah Sports Report, hosted by the coach, Carl Damasi. I'll be back in 3 minutes. I got to get out of here. Stephen, hang in there. I'm bumbling and stumbling, but I'll be back. Hey, sports fans, looking for the ultimate sports and entertainment destination in Savannah, Georgia? Look no further than Coach's Corner. At Coach's Corner, you'll find everything you need for a great time, including TVs everywhere so you can catch all the latest sporting events, an outdoor seating area, perfect for enjoying a drink or a meal on a warm day, a wide array of drink options from beers to cocktails, a comprehensive sports schedule so you can cheer on your favorite teams year-round, prompt service even when it's crowded, a fun and lively atmosphere perfect for letting loose with your friends, and of course, delicious food, from famous chicken wings, hamburgers to delectable calzones and pizzas. Coach's Corner menu is sure to satisfy your cravings. In addition to all this, Coach's Corner also features an upgraded sound garden. Now, more seats, more bars, and an upgraded sound system. It's the perfect spot for hundreds of fans to gather and enjoy the latest local bands, tribute acts, and rising stars. So what are you waiting for? Join us at Coach's Corner for the ultimate sports, music, and culinary experience. Coach's Corner can't wait to see you soon. Remember, Coach's Corner is located at 3016 Victory Drive, right in Thunderbolt, Georgia, and on the World Wide Web at coaches.net. Remember, Coach's Corner, where every day is game day.
Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary Day School, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions to Christ at Calvary Day School. We would consider it a privilege to meet with you and your family personally. Call Alicia Bain, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299. Yo, you still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Savannah Sports Report, hosted by yours truly, the coach, Carl Damasi. And we're at my favorite part of the show, even though Jason Cameron was probably a good part to talk about, but the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week. I had this young man on before last season, before he got injured, but he came back and he made it for the playoffs. He did a great job. And I just got to tell you, he's one of the top athletes here in the Coastal Empire, whether it's football, track, basketball. You put him on a field or a court, this kid's going to excel. I mean, he's a state champion on the track, rising senior, probably the top quarterback in the area, and he's on a mission. And he's already committed to Texas Tech. So, waiting that whole year, he'll probably, he'll probably tell us that he'll probably enroll early at Texas Tech to get his feet going. But he's leading the cadets. He'll be leading the cadets on Friday nights. Of course, he's got another year to anchor that gold medal relay team. I think he's got 3 gold medals now in track. His story is one of hard work leadership, big time potential, and got to welcome. He's joining us on the Coach's Corner hot seat this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from Benedictine Military School. How about now? Am I back on? I'm about 15 seconds behind. Well, anyway, this week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week from Benedictine Military School, Stephen Cannon. Stephen, I do apologize. There's been one night with this, and it's not raining. There's no thunderstorms. Last week, I was out here in a storm. I had to cover I don't know. I can't figure it out, But you got to roll with it, right, buddy?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm glad to get you back on. I'm glad you healed. I mean, first off, congratulations. I mean, but how does it feel that you committed to Texas Tech, you have nothing to worry about, and, you got now 3 gold medals in your pocket? I mean, so all in the same year, it's got to feel pretty good.
Yes, sir. It feels great, especially with track. It's some great momentum going into my senior year. We're just going to have to build on that. And then several of my teammates have committed as well to big-time programs. So we can definitely do something special this season.
Well, I can't wait to see this year's cadet team. I think it's going to be just as good, if not better, than last year. And I know you lost some pretty good players from last year's team, but I think Coach Danny Britt doesn't rebuild; he reloads. That's all I got to say.
Right. Yes, sir.
So, all right. So let's talk about track first. Okay, you and your teammates just went back to back in the 400, 4x100, 4x200. What made this year's track team so special?
I think, first of all, it was a lot of our last track seasons, especially with me and Bubba graduating early, Josh graduating early. And then we really just wanted to go out with a bang. We knew we could, building on last year, state runner-up in the 4x1, won in the 4x2. So I felt like we were really on a mission this whole season. It's probably been the most motivated track team I've ever been a part of. So that was a really cool experience. But it meant a lot to go out this way with 2 rings.
Now, here's a question for you. Does Coach Houston have the same demeanor in football and in track?
I'd say he's probably more relaxed in track just because it's more just go out there and run or throw, depending on what event. But he's definitely more amped up on Friday nights.
So, yeah, plus he's got Big Poppy helping him with track, his dad, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
So, all right. Yeah, I mean, over 25 offers on the table. I mean, what made you choose Texas Tech? I mean, why was it the right fit for Stephen Cannon?
Yes, sir. Since the day they offered me, it's been like so much. Like, it's honestly overwhelming how much they would hit me up, text me, call me. But then when my family visited there in April, we loved it from the minute we were there. It felt like family. And the way the coaches treat my family. But I would say it's a great fit for my play style, air raid type offense. And that's something that I think I could strive in or thrive in college. But it came down to just the coaching staff. There's not really anyone like them in the country, in my opinion. So I think they're the best of the best.
Wow. How is Mama and Grandma going to take that?
You mean how far it is, or?
Yeah, how far it is. They're going to be that far away from you.
I know. My mom's a little scared, but she didn't want that to hold me back from making my decision.
And how about Grandma?
She went. So it's funny, when the coaches were here, I think a couple weeks ago for a home visit, my grandma was here, and she was asking like when I'm going to be able to come home and stuff, and how I'll get off, just stuff like that. It was pretty funny. Nice.
All right, so last year was your first year as a starting quarterback. You stayed behind Luke, and Luke waited behind. All right, help me out. Holden. I mean, so there's just a great lineages. I can't say that word for some reason tonight. Okay, so there's been a great line of quarterbacks at Benedictine Military School. What helps you step into that role with so much confidence? And we're talking about stepping in at the beginning of the season before the injury. What gave you that much confidence to go in there and lead that team?
I think you kind of have to, because if you don't, you're going to get killed. If you play scared, it's not going to go your way. But I think the two quarterbacks before me have set the standard of what it means to be a BC quarterback. So learning in their footsteps. But my coaching staff is definitely, especially Coach DePhillips, has definitely prepared me to step in, over hours, whatever it takes, film or extra time on the field, getting little things right. But they've definitely done a great job at preparing me, making sure I'm ready to lead the team.
I bet you they cringe every time you want to run that ball.
They do, but they want me to run that ball when it's time to tuck it and go.
Yeah, well, I know you and Luke would run people over if you had to every time.
Yes, sir.
So, all right. So, and we got to go to this question. Your season was cut short by injury, but you bounced back and came back at the end. What kept you mentally focused, and what was that physical training like to get you back in such a quick time?
Yes, sir. I think seeing the progress throughout physical therapy kept me motivated, and seeing my team doing well without me, that was really cool to see. Amari did a great job stepping up. He'll do great again this year, and then especially in baseball, he's killing it in baseball right now. But just seeing the progress, and then we would actually my dad would take me to Jacksonville I think it was 3 days a week during school. So it was a lot to do physical therapy down there, and then with my quarterback coach as well when I got to the time when I was back throwing. But it was a tough process, but I'm glad I overcame it.
I got you. All right. If you just tuned in, so far, knock on wood, the internet is holding up. You're watching the Savannah Sports Report with Coach Carl DeMasi, and of course, this week's Weatherton Chiropractic Clinic senior Stephen Cannon out of Benedictine Military School, recently committed to go to Texas Tech. He's in that long line of great Benedictine Military School quarterbacks, and yeah, Mr. Phillips, Coach DePhillips, does a great job. And you can't learn. You can't learn better than a guy. I mean, he played college football, and he took a beating over there at Savannah State, so he knows what it's like and what you have to be prepared for. So, from reading all the stories online, you've got great chemistry with guys like Bubba Frazier, Stanley Smart, and your other teammates. How has it helped you grow as a player in this program?
It's a game changer. I've been playing with a lot of these guys since middle school, or even playing against them. But I think chemistry is the most important thing when you're trying to improve as a team, because when it matters the most, I can count on my guys to be in the right spot, running the right routes at the right yardage, stuff like that. Or if we have to improvise a little bit, I can trust them. And I think we've definitely, especially over last year and now all off season, we get to work together. So I think our chemistry will be off the charts, but it's definitely a very important factor.
All right, I got my good buddy listening in, the producer of Rubbin' and Grubbin', the other show here. Stephen, congratulations, great school. Have you fostered your hatred for UT yet? Longhorns, okay. Your biggest game will be the battle for the Chancellor's Spurs. Lots of history in that game, and good luck. So tell us about Texas and Texas Tech. You're going to get in that big rivalry. Now we know Mr. Manning's going to be the starting quarterback down there, from what I'm hearing.
Yes, sir. I'm starting to learn all the rivals. We were talking about it when I was on my last visit, but I definitely have some hatred for those schools already. And it's funny, they're actually playing, I think today is the first game of the
baseball
softball World Series, and they're playing each other, so that'll be cool. Nice.
I know who you're rooting for. So Texas Tech, so we don't have to worry about that. So when people talk about Stephen Cannon, they talk about leadership, okay? The word leadership always comes up. And way back when you won that DeWitt Middle School Award, too, it was leadership. And you were only 5'4". How tall are you now? 6'2", 6'3"?
6'3".
6'3". I mean, amazing how you've grown that quick, because I saw you at that award ceremony.
Yes,
so
sir.
Describe yourself. What kind of leader do you try to be for your team and for even in school, because Benedictine's built on leadership?
I definitely am a servant leader, and I lead by example. But I'm also get to know my guys before. I start I don't want to yell at a guy if I don't have a good relationship with them. I just don't think it's beneficial. And it's funny, a lot of college coaches ask me this, and they seem to like this answer, but it's the truth. But really, I got to get to know my guys. If it's hanging out outside of school or getting close to them during school, I'm not the type of guy to go out yelling at them for no reason. I try and just work through stuff with people. But it's also like the leading by example part. They see me, I take football very serious, school very serious. I'll miss out on lots of, parties and stuff to make sure I'm working either football or getting all my homework done, stuff like that. So I think they see that and it makes a difference and feels like they do the same.
Nice. All right, Coach Britt, the coaching staff, you're already named AJ DePhillips. We talked about Coach Houston, and there's a lot of other coaches up there. How has the coaching staff positioned you to be a big-time quarterback or another big-time player in that program? And what impact have they had on your development as a student athlete?
Well, first of all, Coach Britt, he runs the program like it's a college program. So he's definitely put a lot of time into this. He knows how to make our team be the best we can. And then Coach DePhillips, I've already kind of spoke on that, but he has done a great job with me. I've been working with him since, I want to say, lower school. I don't remember what grade exactly, but I've been training with him on the side a little bit for a long time. So just our relationship is great. So we can kind of trust each other. He trusts me to do whatever on the field. And then Coach House, I'm not with him as much because he's a defensive guy, but he's a great coach for sure. Probably one of the best. And he's doing a great job with the defense. That's for sure. Hopefully they stop a lot of teams from scoring this year.
And what's it like, Coach, with guys that are Benedictine military school cadets, alumni football players? What's that like over there?
They really care about it. They treat it like they're in it with us, which they are. And they definitely are passionate. They want to win just as bad as we do. It's their school, so it's not like they're coming from somewhere else and like just trying to do their best, but they really care about it.
So they know what the brotherhood means, right?
Right. Yes, sir.
And that's a big part over there. And I know I didn't put this down, but tell us what you feel about the brotherhood over there, what it has meant to you and your teammates and people that have come before you and will come after you.
They put it everywhere, but it's really a real thing at BC, whether it's in school, out of school, sports. I feel like it's really a brotherhood. I feel like everyone, even the guys that aren't even on the field with me, I feel like we're all brothers. I can count on them, just like the chemistry part.
Nice.
But it really is the brotherhood.
All right, we got Coach Kelly from Savannah Christian baseball. Congratulations on your opportunity to play at the next level. Savannah will be cheering you on. Good luck. Nice.
Yes, sir.
I can't wait to watch you play in that Red River game. That'll be a lot of fun too, right?
Yes, sir.
So, all right, a couple more questions and we're done. But I gotta go here. Linda Howard, your grandmother. I worked with her at Country Day, and now she's over at BC. And your mom was one of the best athletes to come out of Country Day, and your dad. So you've had some family support. What's been in your corner through all this? How have they been in your corner through all of this?
Yes, sir. My family, even my brothers, have traveled with me all across the country to go to camps or visit colleges or just even train. It's been a lot of fun. And then my aunts and even uncles and cousins, they come to every football game. Like my uncle lives in Miami right now. He travels to come see every game.
Nice.
It's constant. I always feel like I have a great support staff in my corner. So it's definitely helpful.
So in the Cannon household, it's not athletes first, it's student first, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I can imagine. Okay. So you've already done so much. You're going into your senior year. You don't have to worry about a scholarship. You're ready to go. So what are your goals leading into your senior year?
Well, we only have one goal, and that's to win a state championship and play in the Benz. So that's pretty much it. But that's also a reason why I committed earlier than most think I should have, just to get it out of the way so I can just focus on just our one goal of winning the state championship.
All right. I love asking the athletes this, and I don't put it on the questionnaire because I want them to answer it honestly, okay? So 3 superstitions, okay? First of all, what food do you feel you need to eat before the game or the night before? Because, you're going to go to the team meal. They're going to give you chicken or whatever they're going to give you. What food's big on your plate before a game?
Well, before a game, we always have either chicken or pasta or something that's good for us. But the night before, I always eat spaghetti with my family. That's always our pregame dinner.
All right, you got marinara sauce on it?
What'd you say?
You got red sauce, marinara sauce?
Yes, sir.
Nice. Okay. Because, people put butter on it. I don't know. That's not spaghetti to me or macaroni to me. But anyway, that's another story. Okay. Favorite music you like to listen to before the game?
I think I've told you this in the past, but I always listen to, now I'm forgetting the name. It's a John Legend song. I don't know why I'm forgetting.
It happens.
I can pull it up real quick.
Go ahead. I mean, we got time. I mean, I'm not a music guy. I know two songs. I know all the words to. Star Spangled Banner and Happy Birthday. You give me some other songs, I couldn't tell you what the songs are.
Yes, it's called Ordinary People by John Legend. That's always the last song I listen to before I run out. I think it really, like before that, I'll listen to all types of music, rap, even like some Bob Marley I'll throw in there. But I think that really calms me down and keeps me playing, the best I can without being too amped up. You really can't be at the quarterback position.
Nice. And last question, I love asking this. Every athlete, even though some say they don't, has some sort of special piece of uniform or cloth they got to wear every game. What's it for Stephen Cannon?
I'd say it's two things. I wear a towel every game that says CLC on it. That's my grandfather who passed away. He was a great role model in my life. And then also Coach Britt actually hands out a bandana. He has a whole story about it. But I wear it on my cleat. We can wear it wherever. I tie it to my cleat. And it pretty much represents like all the hard work, and you deserve to be where you're at right now. So that's a good reminder when I look down and see that.
All right, we got one question to go, but I coined this guy, or I didn't coin him, but Kevin Thomas, who does the BC broadcast now, when we were on the radio doing Friday night games, we coined him the Golden Arm, but he's stepping in here. Stevie Powers, Big Stevie, keep carrying the torch, brother. Can't wait for the season. Proud of you.
Yes, sir. That's my guy.
Oh, he's got the Golden Arm. That's what we called him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, great guy, great athlete. He was one of my favorites, still is one of my favorites. I see him at the pool with his kid, with my son. Great man, great representation of Benedictine Military School. All right, last one, okay? Way back when you were that little kid. So for the young athletes who might watch this or check it out later on, okay, what's one piece of advice you would give them as you go into your senior year and, it's going to come down to December?
I would say the hard work really does pay off. It's hard to see when you're young. Some kids might be more talented at first. But the older you get, the more the gap separates itself from the guys that are really focused and treating it like a job almost, than the guys that are just going out there and just doing what they can without putting in extra work or anything. It's a sacrifice wanting to be great at something, especially football, because it's getting more competitive every single year. People are getting better. But I've had to sacrifice things to achieve my goals of playing college football. But definitely the hard work really pays off. I know, like I said before, people say this a lot, but it really does have a meaning.
Yeah, it's the person who outworks the other person that's going to be the winner. And, I bet you Coach Britt or your dad, your mom, or your grandma have always said this. It's the person while you're sitting there doing nothing, it's the person out there that's working harder that's going to outwork you, and you got to beat that person every day. So, Stephen, congratulations. Good reason. I've always been in love with Texas Tech. I don't know why. Because the Red Raiders and I guess Mike Leach throwing the ball around and Patrick Mahomes. It's just been great. I was never a burnt orange guy, so. So I wish you the best of luck. I can't wait to see what happens this year during the season. And once again, great job. Congratulations. And I'm going to say it one more time. Go K-Dets for you.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Stephen. Have a good one. Tell everybody I said hello.
I will. Thank you.
All right. Bye. Just a great kid. I don't know what to tell you. Last year he came on very mature for his age. He leads by example. He leads on the field, off the field. It's just great to see these kids grow up, and he's going to be another one of those Benedictine military cadets leaving early, graduating early, so they can get an upper hand on what's going to happen in the spring. just got to be proud. And AJ DePhillips does a great job over there with those quarterbacks. I mean, he came through Benedictine. He went to Savannah State, took a beating at Savannah State, but he learned a lot. I mean, his dad was a college quarterback at Austin Peay. So it's in his blood, and he's done a great job with these kids. And like I said, you got other former cadets there that are showing them what the Benedictine military school football program's all about. So wish them the best of luck. All right, like I say every week, I'm going to end up with Carl's Corner. That's where I give you my little editorial of something that's going on in the world of sports, not just in Savannah. It could be nationally. And I got to talk about this one because I got hit hard last night, okay? And listening to sports radio today really hit me hard too. But we know that the winners get the glory, the players get the glory, but the coaches always get the blame. Thibodeau got fired last night from the Knicks. People bashing Snicker all the time. But if you think about it, they're not out there playing the game. They're making decisions. They're trying to put their team in the best possible space. But it's one of the oldest unwritten rules in sports. When a team wins, it's because of the player. But when a team loses, it's the coach's fault every time. And I lived it. I could take it, okay? But why? Why? All the time. I mean, just Tom Thibodeau, I mean, Tibbs, as they call him up in New York Knick fan since I don't know when. Over 50 wins. Conference finals. Gone. Snitker. He doesn't play shortstop. He doesn't go bat for the shortstop. He doesn't play center field. He doesn't hit for the center fielder. He doesn't play for Ronald Acuna. But he's getting ripped apart. And, I say this all the time. Yes, I love the New York Yankees. I grew up a Mets fan, but they traded my favorite player, Tom Seaver. So I went over to the dark side. I became a Yankee fan before I graduated high school. But I've been here for 30 years. I love the Braves. There's just something about the Braves. I didn't like them when I was up in New York, but when I moved down here, there's just something about the Braves. And there's something about Snitker, Coach Snit. I mean, he does a great job. But we know it. The quarterback throws 4 touchdowns. He's the hero. Who called the play? The coach, okay? The pitcher throws a no-hitter. Who's calling the pitches? The coach. The goalie makes a game-saving stop in soccer or hockey. They give all the winners a parade. But when it comes to the team collapsing in the fourth quarter, in late innings of ball games, or, they can't make a shot, let's start warming up the coach's seat. It's about to get hot because it's the coach. That's why they're not winning. That's not why they're making baskets or throwing strikes. I just don't understand why does this happen. Because in sports, we love our stars. Fans cheer for the biggest plays, not the game plan. We don't see the long nights coaches spend breaking down film, and I live them. Or the hours spent motivating their players who are coming out of a slump or had a bad week or they committed an error. It's really something to think about. But let the team go on a losing streak, and suddenly they've lost the locker room. This is the coach. They've lost the locker room. They're not making the adjustments. They need to change the lineup. They got to go. We need a change. But is it really the coach? Yes, I know. There's good cops. There's bad cops. There's good doctors. There's bad doctors. There's good lawyers. There's bad lawyers. There's good managers. There are bad managers. But everybody blames the manager right away. It's almost like we forgot that the coaches don't throw the passes. They don't throw the pitches. They don't miss a free throw. They don't make the tackles, but they're responsible for the culture, the chemistry, and the plan. And when the results is not what the fan wants or when management wants, it doesn't match the expectations, they become the easiest target. Let's get rid of them. So let's be real. Players win games. We know that. I've done this my whole life. But coaches build the structure. Still, it's the coach who goes first when things go south, not the players, not the fans, not the front office. So next time you hear a coach getting blamed for everything, remember, they're the first to take the fall. And often enough, I can tell you, I can vouch for them, we're the last to get the credit. The coach is the last to get the credit. That's the fraternity I've been in most of my life, and it's been a great profession. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I just ran into a former player today at a meeting I went to. I mean, there's so much satisfaction with being a coach. But why do we always blame the coach? Good question. I had to get that off my chest. I guess because of hearing everything with Tom Thibodeau last night and all that other stuff. And we got a comment here from Coach Kelly over at Savannah Christian. Coach, our Knicks haven't won a ship since 73. Bad move. I agree with you. I mean, you're talking about a diehard Knick fan? I go back to 69, 73, the New York Nets with Dr. J. I mean, Dave DeBusschere, Dick Barnett, Bill Bradley, Clyde Frazier. I mean, Earl the Pearl Monroe, Jerry Lucas. I mean, Red Holtzman. I mean, it was a heartbreaker because I think I heard this from 2020, from before they hired Tom Thibodeau. The Knicks had gone through 13 coaches. This guy's been there 5 years and has done a great job. Yeah, I know he's got a gruff demeanor and he never looks like he's happy. I don't know, but that's just me. Let's blame the coach. And I give you an example here in Savannah, Georgia. Great guy, but the program couldn't win. Let's blame the coach. Not that the kids were being recruited to go to other schools either. The top players for that coach where he was coaching. But that's the way we go in sports. All right, on that note, Lawrence Bennett is probably very happy. I made it over the hour mark. I'm glad you could join me. And like I say every week, please say a prayer for this crazy world and what's going on. And we know there's a lot of stuff going on. I mean, just out in Colorado this week, just crazy. Just hate. No love. We just hate everybody. And hate's a very harsh word, but that's what it's coming down to. Everybody hates everybody. I mean, you just can't dislike them or you just can't try to work with them. It's tough. So say a prayer for what's going on in this crazy world. And whatever you're doing today or tomorrow, like I say every week, always hit it out of the park. And until next week, until next week, may it be your best week ever. God bless. Peace out. Glad you could join me. And once again, talk to you later. And Coach Snicker's a good guy. Hey, sports fans. Wrong commercial.